third round. We have Luke versus Oliver, and we should have Chris joining us.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late.
Yeah, Chris is the vendor of the shop at Pokemon, and he also does a little bit of YouTube himself. What's your channel?
Mega Mayo is
Mega Mayo.
so if you look that up on the search bar, you should come up with me. My ugly mug will be all over that.
Yeah.
So what have we got here then? What decks we got?
So we've got a Lost Box deck versus Shadow Rider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've already seen both of these decks in action on the recording today. So we have Oliver on the Lost Box and we have Luke on the Shadow Rider.
I've actually played the Shadow Rider against that today. I lost, unfortunately. So it's a good deck, to be fair.
And Luke's an incredible player.
Luke is a great player.
I mean, so is Oliver, to be fair. Oliver also did really well at Liverpool Regionals. But we did see that Raikou go straight into the Lost Zone. We saw that in the game against Tom. Well, we saw the energy at the very least, and we were questioning whether it was the Dragonite build. Never got that cleared up, but we know it's Rayquaza for definite. Okay, so we have the Capturing Aroma coming from Luke. Once again, he really likes that card. He splashes it a lot in his deck.
It's a shame we started with the Gardevoir though, isn't it?
Yeah, the Gardevoir could be a key piece here. Well, no, it really isn't actually, because it only stops damage from Vs.
Yeah, well, true, yeah.
We both need to get better at knowing cards, I guess. But to be honest, it can stop Oliver being able to do damage with a Cramorant early on, because he really does not care if Oliver takes that first one prize. Because that's going to be a very uneven prize trade. It can force Oliver into a potential 7-8 prize game if he plays this correctly. But he doesn't seem to. He hasn't grabbed anything just yet from the deck. I think he's just checking his hand. Oliver's checking the card, just making sure.
It's not the best latte milk I've ever made, so please don't complain.
Thank you. And we've got James also bringing us the latte, which is another thing that Manaflux offers when you're here. There is a cafe on the in the shop. So
really nice. The brownies are excellent as well.
And it's weird being served drinks here. I'm normally helping make them. What I do as a part-time job is I'm a barista, so I know my way around a coffee machine.
Oh, he's just played a heavy ball. We missed that.
Oh, he did play a heavy ball. So, I don't think he didn't grab anything because the heavy ball is still in the discard. We're gonna see. Oh, we've got an attach for turn. It's really good actually, because if Luke can Underworld Gate, yeah, we have got research. That is a VMax in the bin. But yeah, as I was trying to say before, if he's able to Underworld Door against it, that Gardevoir could actually help him trade with the one prizes of the Lost Box. That little bit easier, really offset that prize race, really make Oliver try to get into that Rayquaza, find the bosses, all that stuff. It can make it very, very uneven. Okay, still not much coming from Luke even after that research. Maybe he's just thinking hard, because it is a difficult matchup. That Rayquaza really does offset that prize trade. Maybe not even wanting to play any 2-3 prizes down just yet. So we did see that Articuno. He is tempted to play it down. Okay, grabbed an energy using the Fog Crystal. Okay, just a little shuffle, and we'll be probably moving into more in-game actions. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a Shadow Rider turn take longer than a Lost Box turn.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes.
But, like I say, Luke, he does think with his head when he plays. He doesn't just go balls to the wall. And once again...
There's the Crobat.
There's the Crobat. Refill that hand once again. I mean, this is what the power of Shadow Rider really. It just digs through the deck as quickly as possible. There's the Capturing Aroma.
Them were really good additions to this deck.
They can be, when they work.
When
you need the basics and you don't get the basics, it can be horrible. When you need the evolution and you get the basics, it can also be horrible. But we'd see him grab another Shadow Rider. Yeah, we see another Fog Crystal. That's going to get him the Shadow Rider. But he has started to develop his board a little bit. So we've got the Gardevoir with an energy on it, and then we also have the Articuno with an energy on it. Maybe looking to trade one prizes in there, just because the Rayquaza, well, he probably doesn't know it's the Rayquaza build, but the Rayquaza build trades really well into VMaxes. So trying to offset that prize trade a little bit and just try and combat one prizes, and then hopefully just have a tanky VMax in the active to carry on with that. But as we saw in the previous game, Luke did go up against a Zamazenta Lost Box list. That hand disruption that the Marnie offers can very, very well determine the game here. Because if, you know, Oliver doesn't find the pieces he needs in that turn, because bear in mind to get that Rayquaza to one-shot a Shadow Rider, he does need either the double Mirage Gate or the Mirage Gate equipped to him right hand play. Just because it does do 80 damage, so 80, 160... Yeah, that is 4 energy that he does need. Doing the quick maths in my head here, Chris.
I just listened to your monotone voice. Very nice. As I was saying, Luke also does play the Radiant Greninja, Radiant Eternatus as well. Is it Eternatus? Sorry, yeah, Eternatus.
Yeah, we did see that.
So I don't know if he's ditched it already, but
maybe just for the friendly game, he's ditched it. We don't know. Although the Radiant Eternatus does seem to be a cool addition to the deck. Yeah, maybe the Guardy was just a quick change. Maybe with a agreement between the players that they can switch. I don't believe that Luke is one for cheating. Unless he's playing one of every single Radiant. Yeah, but the reason I'm being a bit more monotone, just to justify it, is I have to try and keep the noise down because the table is just over there.
yeah.
Okay, is it still Luke's turn? Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's Oliver's. I lost track where the game state was, to be honest.
Sorry, I am wrong. It wasn't the rainbow.
Okay. We do have an Ultra Ball in hand, so he can get the VMax and start accelerating those energies. If he so chooses. And I think, judging by the discard, that is what he's going to start to do. Just start, maybe do what he did before, where he tries to set up a normal V and just splash the bench a little bit, just to deny that right hand play immediately. Before he's at the very least got 2 prizes out of it, and maybe even just get rid of the confies early on, because if you can get rid of the confies early on, that 1 gets rid of pivots, easy pivots, and 2 gets rid of the draw engine of it, so when you mix that with a Marnie, it can be a really, really bad time for the Lost Box player. He's putting energy onto, there we go, there's the Marnie. He's putting energy onto the Articuno, so he is going to be able to snipe something. Probably the active at this point, to be honest, because the Manaphy is in play. Okay. That Marnie does reset Oliver's hand. Unfortunately, wasn't able to see Oliver's hand before. I'm not entirely sure if there was anything too threatening in there. Like, showing again, this Articuno used it last game. In the last game we saw against Matthew, just to snipe that last confi that he had. But yeah, it is unfortunately going to have to be the Crown. That Manaphy really, really denying that the ability really to just take out those confis, which is ideally what Luke wants to do, just to do that and then keep Marnie in. Just keep the opponent's hand limited, options limited, and avoid just them taking 3 prizes out of nowhere. I don't believe the Rayquaza build plays Drapion, right?
Rayquaza, oh, for the No, I don't think he will. I don't think he's got enough space.
Yeah,
and with him knowing what we've been playing here, the locals, I think he might have left it out anyway, so he won't really be seeing it.
Doesn't tend to be an include just because that Rayquaza can hit those numbers when you need to, but about the same amount of effort as a Drapion is. Well, about the same effort it is for a Drapion in this matchup, because the matchup, the Drapion, sorry, needs double Mirage Gate in this matchup, or again that right hand equip Mirage Gate. Okay, so back onto Oliver's turn. I think he's going to just try and rebuild that hand up now. Again, as big as possible. Try and use what he can now before it gets potentially gets Marnied away. We're going to see a heavy ball going to the lost zone, so I'm pretty sure Oliver's done a sufficient deck check just to know everything's there. We're going to see the Raihan. Raihan considers doing it to the Comfy. Maybe the wrong Comfy there.
I was going to say, yeah.
Unless he fancies well, it was a steel line anyway, it doesn't even enable the attack for the Comfy. It does allow him to search for any card. I wasn't able to see what card it was he grabbed. Maybe that Rayquaza just started setting up really. Doing another check on that Shadow Rider. Oliver seems really shaken up about it.
Yeah, Luke's not short for damage output in this matchup.
He doesn't really need it. A lot of the deck space is wasted on energies that he doesn't need in this matchup.
Yeah.
Which obviously for other matchups he does need.
Well, that's it, exactly.
But yeah, how do you think locals has gone today?
It's been very interesting. I mean, we've had a good array of decks. I think it's been to see Luke.
It's
come
definitely
up with,
been a weird one.
With this build that he's brought today was definitely an eye opener. It's something that Tom had been playing with a couple of times recently, and he's sort of given up on that and gone with something else today. So it was nice to see it come back with another player, and a player that's running the deck really well. I mean yeah, it's.
He is. That is an eternity.
That is, isn't it? Am I right? Is it it's not the Radiant though, is it? Or is it?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it is the Radiant God of
I'm
War.
gonna go for a quick check, tableside check.
What is the verdict on that one?
It is. So I don't know, and it's not as if these are two unexperienced players. It's interesting because you're only meant to have one in your deck, so it's interesting to see if a judge call is made. We're watching here, and obviously we're just sitting here in the grandstand, so to speak, so we could interject, but to be fair, he's playing against an opponent that should have realised, especially because they were placed side by side.
My only other the only conclusion I can really draw is that before the game they had that talk.
They could have done,
two.
They could have, yes.
This is post Liverpool, and there is no events until rotation now in the UK. So a lot of the players here are literally just playing for fun. So it's not too serious for locals. Hence why we see a Shadow Rider really at top tables. So it could have been that conversation that they had prior to the game.
And we don't know because we are actually allowing proxies today, so it might be a proxy for something else.
Yes.
And he might have already agreed as a gentleman agreement. This card is this card instead. So
that is
I don't
very
know what
true.
The,
that could end
agreement is.
That could actually be a proxy. Again, I'm sure. Considering you went over and asked Tom, who's the judge. He is an official Pokemon judge.
Yeah.
You did ask about that just to see, and Tom didn't seem to really have an issue with it. So it could have just been that conversation they had before the game. Just to clear up, this is why I'm glad we had the commentary for this.
Oh well.
Just to maybe clear up anything there.
It's really interesting. I mean, yes, it's just a locals. It's a friendly at the end of the day. But it's also nice to see these things, to see if an experienced player, which he is an experienced player that Luke is playing against. You know, they've just both come back from regionals, and they both know the game in and out. This is so. As I say, I don't know if
and both high-level players too.
Yeah, so I don't know if there has been an agreement before the game or what. I'm not sure. But it's interesting that both players seem to be
moving on,
and
so
not
that's,
really.
That's the only conclusion we can draw.
So,
but let's not weigh on that too much now. Got way too sidetracked. Didn't even realise what is going on with the game. This is my first time casting as well.
Yeah, it's my first time casting, to be honest.
So I am not an expert by any means on this subject. I'm just going to turn the volume of the microphone down. I saw I accidentally peaked it there. Yeah, so we're going. Oliver did just a flower select. He got rid of a Sableye, so maybe not thinking this is usable this matchup or needed this matchup. Maybe hoping to just go for KO on the two big boys in the back. But Luke's doing a very good job of protecting them at the moment. Still on 6 prizes for Oliver, whereas Luke is on 5. Again, Oliver is up trading in this matchup, so maybe you can afford to lose a couple prizes in the early game. Gonna go in with the Cram. I think this is where we see the first knockout being taken on the side of Oliver, and maybe getting rid of that. What hopefully is a Radiant Greninja. We don't quite know. We'll have to see. Maybe thinking of a boss. He is reading the cards. That's always a good indicator for a boss.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, I don't know where Luke would stand with this, because at the moment the Greninja is like a really good pivot for him. He hasn't have, it's soaked up a bit of damage, I know, but if he does choose to boss up something else, I don't think Luke will be too disappointed, but he'd just go straight for the knockout there, so I don't blame him.
Reading the wash. I'm sure Luke knows what it does, but maybe just trying to get that little bit of confirmation.
Hey, that Wash Energy's fresh off my store this afternoon.
Fresh off? You heard it here?
Yeah,
fresh off the store. I mean, I encountered Wash Energy at regionals, and although I knew what it did, I still double checked it, just because there's odd wordings here and there on specific cards that can really catch you off guard.
See, it's really difficult because I had it in my Palkia build deck, and I don't know, it never appeared when I needed it. So
yeah,
it was.
It's one of those cards that's nice to have in the matchups you need it, but then sometimes in other matchups it's just not. Yeah, I think that was more what Oliver did there. He just put it on the Manaphy, maybe a little bit of protection from some of the base V's attack, which does damage counters.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of protection for the Manaphy there, just to stop that Articuno from sniping if it were to go down. But then again, it may just be there so that he has that extra pivot in case that Comfy gets knocked out. They're having a bit of a conversation, don't quite know what's going on. Oh, there's a chorus from Oliver. Let's see. He is really starting to build his hand up right now. So he's getting that one step closer to that Rayquaza. The Rayquaza is obviously huge in this matchup. Takes those 3 prizes like there's no tomorrow. And I don't think we've seen a Mirage get used by him yet. I think he still has all 4 at his disposal, provided one's not prized. Obviously, again, don't have that prize cam, which would be a nice inclusion in the future. Maybe something we can work towards.
Yeah, we can set up as probably a bit of a acrylic, sort of see-through acrylic table or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I can sort that out. So if not, we can just buy a cheap table and put a whole bit of acrylic top over it.
Yeah.
Prizes. It won't be too difficult.
Like I say, this is something new, something we're experimenting with on the channel. So it's teething. But we do see the energy recycler there, so we could actually be. Oh no, we did see a Mirage Gate, didn't we? Onto the Comfy of the game. Yeah. But this could be a great indicator that we're going to see the Rayquaza, and I'm really excited to see it. I have not really seen Oliver use it today.
Oh, is he got it right? See, with a recycler, I've experienced a Kyogre with a recycler or 2 today. Pretty good.
It does get that 5 basic energy back in your deck, and especially when you've got something as energy hungry as that Rayquaza, just being able to put 5 back in it is incredible. Maybe a mainstay in Lost Box post rotation, since we do lose Ordinary Rod, which was the main way of getting those 2 energy that you needed for a Mirage Gate back in the deck. So maybe a card that we're seeing a lot more of in the future. But we do see that. Don't see a Rayquaza being put down. I do believe he attacked for 110. Maybe Luke's dead drawing here a little bit. If that was his turn, he didn't do anything. He kind of just absorbed that 110 and with no real retaliation behind it. He may just be expecting Oliver to deck out here. That could be a position to take. Oliver still does have 6 left. There we go. There's the Rayquaza, and there's the Mirage Gate. Probably going to be taking those 3 prizes right about now. Possibly even bossing up one on the bench, or getting something off the bench, because that one is already hurt, so it's easier for him to trade with.
Yeah, because he's left 1 on the bench, hasn't he? I mean, it's a funny one. Luke could almost be sort of saying, well, I know he's got this card in his deck because he's an experienced player, so he might just say, well, let's just play the game until he forces my hand, and then let's deal with it then, because I suppose once it's out, he can then deal with the turns afterwards. So I don't know if he's going to be too disappointed.
So interestingly here, Oliver knows the capability of his card. He hasn't wasted too many resources, he hasn't gone too deep. He literally just equipped the bare minimum that he needed to knock out that 1 VMax.
Yeah.
And that's a big trade for him, because it means if he needs to do it again, he has the stuff in deck. He has the Mirage Gates left over, because we've only seen him use 1, so providing again 1's not prized, he does have the ability to then ramp up double Mirage Gate, even Raihan potentially if he runs more than 1 copy. Oh wait, I think it's 3. I think it was the Raihan we saw earlier in the game, not the Mirage Gate.
Yes, it could have been, yes. Is
There we
that
go.
collapsed stadium in play as well? It is.
That is a collapsed stadium. It means that Oliver's not going to be able to put any more Pokemon on his bench. But the real threat here is that Rayquaza, even though it's got no energy, and at the moment, like, Lost Box is able to just ramp those energies so quick. There is the Roxanne that we're seeing, putting Oliver down to 2 cards. That could be huge. That could be huge, especially if he can't pivot out of this Rayquaza.
Yeah, I think we might just see possibly a pass from Luke, because I think knocking him out would just help his opponent more this turn than just trying to set up for a future turn, maybe. I just don't know how he's going to get out of this.
Yeah, he is kind of behind at the moment. Oliver's 3 prizes to his 5. Definitely to Luke's unfavourable, considering Oliver does have that one-shot potential and does have the ability, does have the cards in deck to do so. Either way, very interesting game so far.
It is.
Not a matchup I've seen before.
No.
I think he's going back down the route of those 5 damage counters. Maybe he's going to put the 5 damage counters on both the Comfies and then do the same again next turn if he gets the opportunity to, which then shuts off the draw engine of Oliver. And, you know, especially with him sticking him down to those 2 cards last turn. Well, this turn, sorry, with the Roxanne. It could actually win him this game purely just hand disruption.
Yeah.
Hand disruption could very much win him this game against Oliver. He's, like I said, he's a very smart player. It's a strategy he used prior against Matthew. He used it to get his draw engine, and Matthew was very much just stranded at that point. We're going to see the scoop up now on the Rayquaza.
On another note, tonight's been a very fantastic night. The amount of people we've had in the shop,
I know,
it's been
amazing. It's been amazing. It's why you probably hear some of the background noise from the shop. But you know what I mean? If we have to suffer a bit of background noise, with the shop being busy, I'll take that trade. I'd rather have more people, more bumps and seats.
Yep, definitely. And it's nice to see a younger crop here as well. We've had some weekends when it's only been a few of us, but today to see a lot of young players coming through and a lot of youngsters actually getting involved, and it's amazing.
I think we saw a scoop there from Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We found the Mirage Gate. Yeah, that's fair enough. We look away for 1 second,
I know,
Chris.
yeah.
We look
away. Yeah.
I reckon that was planned on Oliver's part. I reckon that was planned. Waited till we looked over.
Yeah. I also think Luke sort of. I think he knew.
He was too far behind.
He was, yeah.
It wasn't in the cards for him, as some people might say.
Well, some people might say.
But either way, I think
he had a difficult start though with the guard.
He did. He had a very, very difficult very difficult start. But at the same time, I think his idea behind his route was solid. I think it just took it a bit too long to get there.
I do think we might not see Luke bench the VMaxes early on. I think he might try and use basic V possibly early game, because he doesn't have to hit big numbers straight out the gate.
I think what we're going to see is potentially, if that we saw the Radiant Eternatus earlier on.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to try and go for that, get the 2 VMAX in play, but set up a V and just try and snipe those Comphase and just Marnie him out of the game.
Yeah.
Try and limit that hand size, limit the draw power of the deck, and hopefully just brick Oliver into a point where he can just storm with the game. But we are heading into a game 2. Again, I can see where Luke was going, but I think Oliver, honestly, just playing the Rayquaza, the way he played it as well, perfectly. He used minimal resources to get the knockout on the 3 prizes, which set him up perfectly for that second Rayquaza, which hits more than enough. Like, the amount of energy you run in this Lost Box variant. Like, you run 5 different types of energy, so 80 times 5, what's that, Chris?
Oh, math, mate. I'd have to get the calculator out for that.
400.
400, there you are.
I think. Don't come with that. But with a damage cap of 400, you can pretty much scale any skyscraper with that deck.
Yeah, you can. And to be fair, there's no Duraludons today either, to be honest, so that's not too bad.
It's because you're not playing it.
I know, yeah, I'm not playing it.
It's normally Chris playing the Duraludon. Let's just say Chris is better as a vendor than a player. Well, we're trash talking.
I mean, I was playing Zacian today. It was a bit different with the V-Star.
True. Zacian
different.
is a full back of yours. I've seen you play it a couple of times.
You know,
but then, I think with the new V-Star, it does open some avenues. Very interesting deck.
Yeah, it's interesting. As I say, I've always said I'd play it one last time before it rotates out. Not had too much luck. Yeah, exactly. I've not had too much luck with it today.
But starting off this second game, we're going to see Oliver open the Oranguru, and Luke actually opens a V, which is kind of crucial for him. He did open that God of War the last game, which is terrible for him, really.
He's just grabbed that Eternatus as well.
He has got the Eternatus, that's great for him. Hopefully, I was about to say, hopefully we see another V come down first, just so he has that two VMax, 2 Vs in play, which will just allow him to like rotate between these two. And just splash down. Sorry, I have dropped something. Okay, so he does, he has played down that Eternatus, he's got the 2 VMaxes, and now he's kind of off to the races. He can probably do that strategy, go with that strategy that we saw from last game, and it's just a Cramorant equip pass from Oliver.
Oh well, I think this is where Luke's going to sort of turn into a bit of a turbo drive now. He's obviously got the abilities on the field, so you're going to see that now.
But then again, that Cramorant not too scary until he's at 4 pieces in the loss zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's nothing until then, and I see here we are. You see, he's just going to keep digging through there.
Yeah, it just shows time and time again just the draw power that is
air balloon as well. You mean you can't fool that, and then he's just gonna there's the attach for turn.
I think that's the scoop.
That's the scoop.
That is the scoop. Go into game 3. Very quick game 3. But you know, I've had hands like that playing Lost Box.
Yeah.
I've played it before, and just opening that bricked hand, and then the worst thing is when you have that hand, and then the next turn you draw a Balbio for turn, and you're like, well, I could have done what you last.
I thought I saw an SQ there in his list as well.
He is playing an SQ.
He's playing an SQ. Yeah. Oh wow, okay.
He is. Maybe a new tech. I think it is a new tech.
I think it is. Yeah.
It just helps him into like Regis.
Yeah,
Regis is a very resource intensive matchup for Lost Box, and you have to constantly loop those Rayquazas just over and over again.
Yeah.
And you never want to be doing that really, because it wastes so many resources. And then you're using anything else like Cramorant or anything, you are trading very horribly. A little bit of excitement behind us. Yeah. I think somebody's just opened a pack and pulled something good.
Yeah, well, there's been some nice cards pulled today, to be fair. Had is it the Old Heart Suicune from Crown Zenith?
Oh, the new one. That's such a beautiful card.
So we've had that one pulled in the shop today, so that was really nice.
That is a beautiful card.
And to be honest, he did really well because he traded in a couple of trainer gathered cards for a pack, and the pack got him a Suicune, so you can't really complain about that.
What more can you?
I know.
What more can you ask for, really? Gonna see a mulligan from Luke, I believe. Yeah. Oliver has that basic, but we've seen a couple of these today with this Rayquaza Lost Box variant. Is a lot of bricks. I think this is the second time we've seen Oliver brick today.
And
but you know what? He comes out fighting when it does work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a brilliant deck.
It's going to be a very interesting match this is, because we're down to the last 16 minutes or so.
Yeah, and Lost Box can take time.
So we could end up. It's a draw if we're not careful, I suppose.
Very much so, yeah.
But I think.
I think, to be honest, given Luke's situation, I would say he's definitely at a disadvantage in this match. Second mulligan.
So he's got that Forest Seal as well, and that's a really good little card that he's used.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier on one of the prior games that he played, is that he doesn't play any V-Stars.
No,
so having that, just search that one card, like if you need a boss, you need a Serena, you need even an energy, you just have that. I mean, granted, I should hope you're not searching for an energy when you're playing Shadow Rider. But it is sometimes something you need. But to be fair, searching for an energy off a card that's free in your hand to draw to very often is good. But like I was saying before, I think Luke is very unfavoured in this matchup purely because of how persistent and hard this Lost Box variant can hit. So maybe he may even play 4 at a time, may even try and go for 1-1.
Quite possibly, yes. I mean, we've got another round, don't we, after this anyway? So
we do. So he's not out of it yet. He's not out of the woods. I think it just comes down now to how both players play. We are going to see Luke going first again. Obviously, Lost Box does want to go second. It wants to get that early Cramorant hit, because 110 on your second turn for no energy is it's an insane attack.
Well, I think we just saw him checking his deck to see if he got the Eternities in there. I think he has. Yes, he's got the Eternities in his deck. So that is definitely going to be his target. Hopefully this turn, if he's got something to search it out with. There's the Ultra Ball. He
definitely can search it. We haven't seen the rest of his hand actually, so we don't know if he's already got a V in hand, or potentially even another way to search it. He's going to Ultra away a VMax. Oh, we are going to see him grab that Eternatus. Yeah, that is the play we kind of expected to see here. An Air Balloon attachment. Makes sense.
Yeah, it
Because
makes
that
sense,
Cramorant's
yeah.
most likely going to be hitting into this, and he kind of wants to preserve it, deny those 2 prizes from the Lost Box, otherwise the matchup becomes very sticky.
Yeah.
If he takes another 2 prizes, it becomes very sticky. He can just boss up that Eternatus if Luke isn't able to get it off the bench, and then maybe just Rayquaza for the final 3 prizes.
Yeah.
So I think the Air Balloon attachment on the active makes sense. Try and deny those prizes, make him chase it. But we'll have to see how it shapes out. Not a too hot of a start, honestly, from Luke. He did manage to get the Eternatus down, but a second V probably would have been preferred. Okay. We see an okay sign from Luke over there.
Yeah. It's rather strange when you can look across the room and you're looking in that direction, and he just sort of catches your eye, and he just gives you that sort of glance that says, "I've got this," and he might have it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There we go. There is the Colress from Oliver. See what he gets. Okay, we're going to see an Escape Rope and a Sableye go to the Lost Zone.
See, I always like seeing old card artwork.
I think some of it looks really cool. Some
really
of it definitely looks really cool. You can see the Comfey. Yeah, there's the flower selecting.
I think it's going to be really strange though soon when we got a lot of silver border cards still being played with yellow border.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to
be
be that race to try and silver border your deck out
Yeah,
as much as you can. Definitely, the silver borders look really pretty
They
though.
do look really nice. And let's not forget that these artworks designed in mind to have a silver border.
Yeah,
So the cards are going to look so much nicer and cleaner.
yeah, it's like exactly. So like you look at like the hollows, for example, that Air Balloon that just got put into the Lost Zone.
Yes.
You look at that, and with silver border, that could look so much nicer. The hollow is already nice on it, but you never know.
It's also nice as well to see local players actually playing with cards from the prize packs. It's really nice because obviously you can see the Pokemon League stamps there.
The prize packs have definitely been a fan favourite in the shop.
Oh, yeah,
We've had people collecting them. We've had we obviously see people playing with them. And honestly, before Liverpool, I was racing to get my place out of Cape of Toughness.
Oh yes.
Cape Toughness it's a card that finds a way into many of my decks.
Yes, and I'm playing it in my deck with the Zacian Bill because I'm running with the Zamazenta. Yeah, so the one with the ability that stops VMaxes. So obviously he has 270 HP. So if I have to come against him, you have to use all the resources to take the knockout.
Yeah.
Which is really crucial. But I was very interested. He's bought the Eternatus stuff.
That makes sense. It doesn't die to a cram hit.
Yeah.
And it avoids him getting a hit onto the Shadow Rider. But we are going to see a pass without an attack. I think that's very wise because it leaves the Comfey in the active.
Yeah, we're back in a minute. I'll go back to serve.
Yeah, Chris has got some people at his store right now. I did rob him away just to cast this game. We're dropping the volume level down a bit more on the casting again. It's because we had a large group of people leave, so the shop's a bit quieter now. And I didn't want to disrupt the players. See the Forest Seal Stone. Again, allowing Luke to search for that one card. And that one card is sometimes all you need. Ordinary Rod. Maybe going to use the Seal Stone to go and fetch it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Maybe in the future we're going to try and get similar to what you might see at regionals, some like headphones or something, just to allow us to cast at normal volume without having to worry about disrupting the players. It'd be nice. Unfortunately, the shop's very open. There's very few locations where you can actually cast from where people can't hear you. Okay. Was that money? Yeah, the money was just played. Sorry, I looked away for a quick second. Okay. Marnie again, limiting the hand size. Which, again, is something Luke wants to do in this matchup. Gonna see an Ultra Ball. Potentially getting another VMax in play, just allowing him to dig further and further into that deck. Got the Fog Crystal coming again. I didn't actually see what he grabbed. A VMax. Raining Court coming down. Oh, and that Crowbar allowing him to just refill that hand. It's a card that you don't see much play nowadays. Capturing Aroma again. There's the evens. Allows him to go get an evolution, I believe. We'll just see a swarm of VMaxes now. Just having Luke joking around. He's rolled the evens every time he's wanted odds. Gonna see a door, but again on flat V. I think we may see the same strategy on Luke's side as we've seen before. 3 more. He does need to get that Radiant Eternatus out of the active though. I wonder if he's got a way to do it. Oh, he evolves into the VMax. Maybe just trying to out-tempo him here. It is a possibility. Okay. You're seeing a deck shuffle now. It's off camera, unfortunately. There we go. We got one on camera. Drawing 2. Again, the power of that. The wheel door just to dig. Hey. Gonna be a pass from Luke. Throwing it back to Oliver. That Training Court being in play may actually benefit Oliver, so it may have been a judgment call from Luke on whether to actually play it in the first place or not. Okay, we do see a Rayquaza. Very, very scary stuff, especially if you're Luke right now. Okay, there is the chorus. Again, refilling that hand. This is exactly what Oliver needs right now, is after that Marnie, he just needs to refill that hand, make sure he's got the resources available to him. Because again, he needs a lot of cards to set up Waza. I feel like I'm almost whispering now, that's not the intention, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to respect the players. Again, could come down to time at this point. Lost Box has a lot of interactions it needs to do, a lot of decisions that need to be made. So, pace of this game we've seen is pretty slow so far, no prize has been taken. Okay. There's the energy equip onto the Confe. Probably, allowing him to retreat into the Cramorant. The Cramorant, of course, now online because there is 4 cards in the discard. In the lost zone. Which again is pretty good. Is there 4? I believe there is 4. Yeah, there we go. There's the attack onto the Eternatus. Again, I bet Luke is glad that's not onto a VMax or a V right now. He wants to mitigate the damage on those as much as possible, just to try and get that, just to try and like protect them as long as possible and make them really dig. What's going on right now? I'm not entirely sure. But there we go, we have the underworld door from Luke. Maybe questioning whether to commit the energy, just in case he needs it elsewhere, moving forward. Potentially to retreat this Radiant Eternus, maybe just hoping that Oliver does not have any way to gust up a V or VMax, and just take the KO with the Rayquaza. Because again, that Radiant Eternus is in the active and it does have 2 retreat costs, and he can't accelerate to it using Underworld Door. It has to be a Psychic Pokemon. Maybe just digging for that Umbrella. Maybe the decision there was whether he puts an energy on it just in case he does get a Gust so that he has a retreat next turn, or maybe it was, you know, just trying to dig for that Air Balloon, and I feel like the latter was used. Again, hopefully we can, in the future, develop a way to where we can talk a bit louder and actually cast them properly, cast these events properly, because it would be really nice. There's a lot of hype moments, a lot of... There we go, there's the Air Balloon. That's what we wanted to see. Just so Luke can stop putting some damage down, stop being a nuisance. Yeah, there we go. Same strategy we did against Matthew. Unfortunately, Lost Box runs a lot of scoop up nets, so if he's able to get that damage off using the scoop up net, it could skew the plan of Luke a little bit. But now it is back over to Oliver. Little check of his discard. We're gonna see. I think that was a Primate Wisdom. I looked away for a second. Alright, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to keep the noise volume down a little bit now, because obviously all the kids have left, so it's a bit quiet now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously the table is right over there, so I don't want to disrupt them. At the same time, it's been a really interesting matchup so far.
Who's winning?
At the moment, it is a 1-1, so this is game 3. Game 3 with, to be honest, 1 minute 30 left on the clock.
It's going to be a tie, ain't it? That's what
I'm feeling a tie unless somebody can pull off something like magical, or you know, maybe one of them realizes that they're behind and just scoops and does the gentlemanly thing. No, these are both really good, really intelligent players, but I don't think we'll see that because they're both trying to win, and you know, if you come out with a tie against, you know, top rated players, you know, that's pretty good. I don't think anybody's going to be too upset over that. And that is just the nature of the game sometimes. Gonna boss up that Oranguru, maybe because of the extra retreat cost I have, and the fact that, you know, contact. That 110 damage from the Cromlech does build up over time.
An attack, but it also stops them putting cards on top of the deck.
There's a Collapse Stadium, will prevent Oliver from benching. Also gets that Radiant Etern off the bench, which was damaged before. There we go, we're going to see the knockout on the 2 Confe, which does limit the... It just limits the how much Oliver's able to dig into deck. But we do see that Raihan could be setting up for a Rayquaza play here. I mean, all he needs is that Raihan equipped for turn, get the Oranguru out the active, and he's golden.
He's getting the Oranguru out the active.
Maybe he's searching for that for the Raihan. Maybe he's got it in hand. You never know.
Air Balloon.
Air Balloon, Switch, anything like that. Because this Shadow Rider is already damaged. So the Rayquaza doesn't really have to do too much. That is time called. So we're going on turn 0. So turn 0 is starting on Oliver. So that'll mean that, you know, Oliver has this turn and next turn to hopefully try. Oh, they're just going to agree on a tie. Yeah.
On Luke, wouldn't it? It would have finished on Luke, I think.
Maybe. I'm never too sure.
Turn 0, 1, 2,
3.
Yeah, but Oliver would have had that turn and the next turn to try and take Luke out. But no, it just seemed like a tie, and that is a 1-1 tie. You know, a match that seems so heavily favoured towards the Rayquaza build just because it can hit that numbers, ending a tie is kind of an upset. But I think that both players, again, they know that these decks very well and they're very good at operating them.
And with Mew against it, I struggled. Couldn't get nothing going. Mew just against Lost Box and that Mew's to me is not going to be a deck for London. I think what Lugia is definitely not going to be a deck for London.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some single strike builds you can do of it, but whether they'll be as consistent as they need to be.
Ray ain't going to be in London.
Yeah.
Because Ray's going to lose. He put next.
Well, loses Ray.
He loses too much now.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, we'll get back to you on the final round, I believe. But so far,
No, I think that's it.
Oh, is that it? We're ending a round early. It's getting late. These rounds did last for a good while. So, but some interesting games, some interesting decks.
Maybe. I'll Shim can't play new stuff next week.
Yes.
I got some spies.
We will be doing some
weeks.
proxies. We will be doing some proxies soon. Of the new stuff.
I think it's about 2 weeks before we go London.
Yeah.
We've got pre-release coming up.
We do have pre-release coming up. There'll be some content for that.
There's loads coming up.
There's good things in the
one
work.
thing that is coming up. People who are interested and you're interested. 18th February at Griff's Gaming, win a box.
There we go. Where is Griff's Gaming?
Erdington.
It's near Birmingham, right?
Near Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah. So that is another card shop, not as good as Manaflux, obviously.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. He's flexing. Jamie is part of Griff's team, but there will be a winner box if that's something you're interested. But if you are just looking to play some local TCG, Manaflux is a great place. We always have new players. We have an official judge, and we run these locals every Thursday. It's a good time, friendly people, and
Very friendly.
You know, we have a cafe, we have cards, we always have spare tables for people to use. We've got loads of products, got everything. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this first attempt at kind of streaming locals, and if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and it's something we will be continue doing in the future. So yeah, see you in a bit, guys.